This is session 3. Mululeki is demonstrating the split off, and he's going to show, first he's going to show the teen split off and the teen activities.
So the parents they will be with Caroline.
Yeah, with me over here.
So I'll be with teens. Since we already talk about HIV, caring partners, true friends. So now we're going to talk about sex decision making. So what we want to encourage is that this is your life, you must own your life and be proud of yourself. You must remember about the hopes and dreams that we talked about in session 1. So the first activity that we want to do is that we want to know, can you name some reasons that teenagers should not have sex? Module 3, session 3.
I'm going to talk to these things and take them to another. Well, completely, but that's the program ideas of how.
Teenage session, gender roles, condom use.
Session 3, module 3 for teenagers. It's on page, it's on page 186. 186.
Yeah, so 186.
186. Yep.
Is it good? Do I have the same as you when you have online?
Yeah.
I think so. Only open now.
You can use mine too.
I don't want to interrupt the camera.
Okay. Njengoba benishilo lathi ubomi bakho ucontrol wenze into ready. So when you're ready, you can do izinto onqwenela uzenza. So you must think about your values. That is important. When you're ready to have sex, it's up to you to decide. Not someone else force you to do. Yeah, so it's up to you. So the question Lena was nabo mhlawumbe zeziphi izinto enicinga intoba abantwana akufanelanga benze sex for zona. Izizathu ezibangela abantwana bangayenzi sex.
With the parents.
This is for the teens only.
Teens
I want to have sex because I think it's cool.
Oh.
I want to have sex because I feel like everyone's doing it and I think it's cool. He's asking us reasons.
No, the reasons why they shouldn't.
Oh,
They
sorry.
should not.
Oh, because I can't finish university.
Okay.
I won't be able to finish university
Okay.
if I have sex and have a baby.
Okay.
It's just too
That's
much
good.
of a decision to make.
I might get HIV.
Yeah, it's
Go
just
for
about to think
HIV.
about it.
Okay, that's interesting.
And you might have sex with me and dump me.
Yeah.
Show me.
It's gonna be a depression. So no
Okay.
next.
What else? So
I'm
remember,
still young. We're still young.
the answers you're gonna write there. What you
I think my community is very small, and I don't know if my lovebird is here.
Oh.
Okay, that's interesting.
I'm still very young. When I get married first.
Mm.
Yeah.
Find a child at young age is
Mm.
Maybe Tambo is out. It's because iitshomi zam okanye abantu endibaziyo abayenzi sex, so that's why namntombam ndingayenzi. Nee-friends zakhe mhlawumbi bathethe ngolo hlobo nam. Sendizichazile ezinye umntu ufuna into yoba afinishe isikolo, agqibe isikolo, abanye they're scared of being pregnant. Like usitsho ukuthi ikwenza ufuna uthatha ii-decisions ezinzima, like usokolisa ngento ze-boyfriend okanye ama-girlfriend. So ingakwenzela i-stress loo nto leyo, so abayifuna abanye. Like busowuchazile ube infected, abanye boyika ukusuleleka, abanye boyika abazali babo, fear of their parents. Abanye it's against their religion or belief. Said mna ndivumeni. So sigqibile ke ngoku ngezo. So we come back to your answers, Caroline. The one that what are some reasons teenagers might want to have sex? So the reasons.
I mean, I want to be cool.
I want to keep my boyfriend.
Yeah.
But
So Muleki cuts us off, right? So he's like, spends a ton of time talking about reasons for not having sex. He wants to spend a tiny bit of time acknowledging that teens also, you know, there are reasons also for the other team, but we don't want to emphasize that. He keeps it short.
Yeah.
Okay, then he moves on.
Yeah. Okay. So now we abantwana bayafuna ukuthi sex. So sorry.
no, I'm saying that on the new manual, the reasons why people might want to have sex, it's the first question.
Oh
And
yes.
then the
Oh
reasons
sorry.
why
So I
they
reversed
shouldn't.
it. Sorry, it's a
which
correction.
is, yeah.
So remember we said that it's going
Good
to
and
start
the
positive
good.
and positive. That was why it got switched. So that's good.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. Great. So let's carry on to question 3. Great.
Okay.
Great
So-
catch.
So abantwana bayanqwenela ukwenza i-sex. Abantwana. Although kunee-diseases ezikhoyo, abanye boyika ukufumana i-pregnancy, abanye boyika ulahlwa mhlawumbi aqonda xa ndilahliwe i-break up enzima leyo. So ibenza into yoba bangafocus because ulahliwe i-boyfriend yakhe, so I don't know that. But zikhona into ezizenza uba babangele into yoba bafuna ukwenza i-sex ezazokuthiwa zi-trigger, into triggerishayo into uyenza. So sifuna ukwazi ezo zinto ke into yoba zintoni mhlawumbi zingenza abantwana babe nomdla okanye bafune ukwenza i-sex. Pressure mhlawumbi, pressure alcohol,
Being ready to have sex. Feeling ready.
no feeling ready. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think the feelings you mentioned, you may be tempted to have sex when you feel sad. Sometimes you're bored, you must need someone. I think all of can be depressed, because abanye xa be-depressed bafuna ukureliever nge-sex. Yeah. Even like drugs and alcohol you mentioned already. Yeah, and how alone at home, your parents as the parents, so you're watching TV and you're thinking, let me invite someone to accompany me.
Naughty.
Yeah. Mhlawumbi ubone umuntu looking nice, someone looking nice, like John Barton.
So guys, we spend so much time on this because remember the big M word, motivation. Like it's no use telling them to use a condom if they haven't thought through the reasons for themselves for why they do or don't want to have sex. So like that's why we're like spending so much time getting them to give us the reasons for them. And also acknowledging that like look, like kids, for example, kids said to us things like, having a relationship without sex is like dancing to no music. Kids said that. Like, we get that, right? So we're like, okay, but there are some other ways that you can care for your partner until you're ready. So then, something that Malaki, I don't know if you covered, was that we also want to ask, what are some ways that you can show that you really love or care for your partner without having sex? Did we talk about that yet? Yeah, so let's ask, like, what are some ways you can show love for your partner without having sex?
Going out on a date.
Totally. Going out on a date.
Movies.
So some boys will be like, make out, I want to touch her boobies. Cool. Like, that's fine. That's fine. You know, there are like ways to be intimate. You gotta welcome all that, right? You're having teenagers in a room for a reason. You can put that out there. Be like, you can make out without having sex. That's like pleasurable and fun. You know, like, you gotta put that stuff out there.
And you could probably judge exactly from what they say as well.
Yeah.
Like, are they saying really way traditional things, in which case they're just trying to please
Yeah.
you? Or are they saying exactly what's happening now and what they really want to do? And then you have to be careful in terms of how you comment on that. Right? Without being too traditional, but also without saying go and have sex now, without any protection, etc.
So guys, we need to really keep it real. I feel like Millicent has a great point, which is that when you're hearing some stuff that's just like they're BSing you, we got to get past that, right? Because that's not helping behavior change. So when that happens, a technique you can use that you can just put right out there. Hey, nobody mentioned this, but other teens have told us that they want to make out, and that's, you know, then you can like get it on, but not have sex. That's great. Does that apply for you guys? You gotta like break the ice by saying something like that. It's great. Okay, so then you probably.
about us telling them to make out.
Tell us your concerns. Let's discuss
My
it.
concern.
You're not telling them that. I hear you, because the parents will be like, "What are you telling my kid?"
Yeah, and then my worry is if we encourage them or if it seems as if it's a good thing to do. These boys are curious, you know, they always wanna act out. So what if rape happens? The girl on the mind is not ready, and the guy will be like, okay, we're just making out, and then the guy becomes hot enough to just go there, you know.
Do it.
Such a good
I'm
point.
worried about
So
those things.
it's such a good point, but I think that given the rest of the program, remember it's like building blocks. So in session 2, we talk about violence, we talk about forcing, we talk about respect, we talk about what is it like to have a cherry pie, a lovebird? Like, how is that different than a spare tire or a roll-on? You know, so hopefully some of that context is translating across to give the kids a bigger message, which is that we don't want you to engage in sex or risky sex, but when you're ready, we want you to be prepared. I think if we were to just deliver this and to say that out of context, that might be what they take away from it. Because they've gotten session 1, hopes and dreams. They've gotten session 2, talking about John and Janine's story and violence and sexual force. I don't think that the takeaway message after they've gotten those things is go and make out and go and rape people. I don't think that's I really believe that the building blocks we've laid give them a big message that's really about you have to do what's right for you. We're not encouraging one way or the other. It's your decision. I think ultimately, though, you have to do what feels right for you and what feels right for the teens. But we want you as a facilitator to be open to it.
Okay.
See how it goes. And then you're not on your own. Let's say you try it and then you're like getting really bad feedback from parents. Come to us. We have weekly supervision. Lauren will have weekly supervision with you guys. She's going to say, like, is that really what happened? Let's think of a way to deliver the intervention or tweak the intervention so that you're not getting that negative feedback. So you're not on your own. Really good questions, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important because I think teens might decide to pick things that they want to pick.
Yeah.
So as much as we've spoken about violence, blah, 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 they think, they hear, let's, what was the word? Let's make up.
Yeah.
And then like, that stands out.
Yeah.
But I think when you say that, you say it in reference to the other things that we've spoken about to make sure that we remain within the whole program, the whole, what we're really aiming for, which is behavior change.
It's really good questions. Keep them coming. Okay, we'll let you carry on.
So what is important, no matter what, say no until you're ready to have sex. Yeah, so let's go back to what we have learned in the past weeks, about assertive communication, iMessages, caring friends, and caring partner. So we'll do a role play. So we'll do also the problem solving. You remember the 4 steps of problem solving, so we'll do it in the role play. So I'll give you the scenario. So let's say that Nombu's boyfriend Loiso wants to come over when Nombu's mother is at work. Nombu really likes Loiso, but she knows that if she lets him come over, he will talk her into have sex. She never really thinks about having sex with Loiso until times like this, because the other places they hang. The other places they hang there are other people, or she would not want to have sex there. Besithethe nge-trigger. So sifuna ukwazi ke ngoku, remember, triggers may make Nombu feels tempted in this situation. So ingaba zintoni ezitriggerisha uNombu zimenze into yoba afune uinvite uLoyiso?
Maybe the word is like tempted, right? Like what makes her feel tempted in this
Yeah.
situation?
The mother's not around, she's alone.
Perfect.
Okay, so it's
Exactly.
is alone.
Exactly.
What else
And she likes
that makes
Lois.
Nombu?
She likes the boyfriend.
She likes the boyfriend. Another. Okay, so you mentioned, so she is the place. She's alone at home. She also thinking that you can invite someone. Yeah. So the loneliness. The person, so he's thinking about her boyfriend to come over. So the problem, what is the problem?
He's having sex. He's not being ready to have sex.
Good. Well done.
Yeah. So if Jama comes over, she will feel tempted to have sex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Yeah. So what is the solution maybe?
Not to allow Loiso to come.
Yeah.
Could I go? I think I would, if I was Nombu, I would tell Loiso, let's meet at the tuck shop. I still want to see Loiso. I still like him.
So we tell
So I'm gonna go meet him somewhere else where we're not alone.
Or just
Yeah.
make up a story. I'm busy right now. My mom said
But
this
she
is
wants to
so
meet
clean up.
She wants to.
There's a catch. They want to see each other.
So the teens will come up with it, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of not about us coming up with it, but them thinking it through, like what would they do,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then what happens?
There's a
Lucky.
misprint there. The story says Loiso, then the question says Jama.
Oh, so let me fix that. Thanks very much. And then Mulaki, so you've like written all these things down, right? And then what happens? What do you ask the teens to do?
I think-
This
I
says
think,
break up with
did
Jama.
you, I think
189.
we asked them to choose one in the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So guys, we came up with one of the solutions. So let's just
Yeah.
say there's a list.
Yes. All that you
189.
mentioned, and then you choose one.
Okay. One is maybe meeting someone.
He's mine. He's mine.
Le anything ba
Alright.
right, like it's like izanzi into yoba ingenzeki, ingazukwenza into yoba tempted.
Meet in public.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Said another is off.
Okay.
So she's not at
Or,
Oh.
or else he's not coming. Angabi says at all.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so if you met in public, what you talk them through, like what's the good or bad of each of these scenarios that you've chosen? So if they're like meet in public, tell them no. You talk them through like what would work for you guys. What would be the good or bad of meeting in public? What would be the good or bad of having him come over? What would be good or bad of, having him come when your mom's there? So they're thinking through the scenarios like it really works for them. And then you guys choose. So this is like where you say to them, doesn't matter to me, you choose what works for you. Like if that happened to you, I don't care, you choose what works for you. You do what works for you, what's best for you. Cool, and then? Can we think of other situations where teens are tempted to have sex? Think about yourself, your friends. Can people share with us in small groups? So I say, you're group 1, you're group 2, you're group 3, here are your flip charts. Let's start with group 1. So guys, what'd you come up with? You wrote down on your flip chart a list of situations where you're tempted to have sex. What were they? Oh, I was drinking with my friends on Saturday night and I felt so happy and I wanted to kiss my boyfriend and one thing led to another and I wanted to have sex. What are other things that might happen for teens like you? Where you're tempted to have sex?
And the school comes out early.
When Massey High School lets out early. And you've got time and no one's home.
Hours to kill.
Tired of him nagging me for sex.
Yeah, I feel like I'm tired of saying no to my boyfriend. Are there other ways?
When you hear stories about your boyfriend flirting with someone.
So
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you get this whole list, not from you, they've come up with it. And then, guys, let's pick just one of these to try out our iMessages on. Lauren gave a really great example. She said, my boyfriend's just pressuring me to have sex. Pressuring me. Would anybody be able to volunteer iMessage? What would you say in that situation? You get candy. Let's go back to our iMessages, right? What's that? When you're denying sex. Like how would you use assertive communication to tell your boyfriend, no, I don't want to have sex using iMessage? Can anyone demonstrate that for us?
Yeah, you go to
So can we go back to the eye chart?
go to them.
So you guys remember, this isn't a test. Everyone wins. So let's go back and let's remember what our iMessages are. This only works if you know it through practice, and you're not going to get it the first time. You're not going to get it perfectly, but it doesn't matter. You're doing great. You're doing great. So you're in the situation, your boyfriend, Loiso, wants you to have sex, and you don't want to have sex. What are some things that you could do to tell Loiso, I'm not ready yet?
You ask Loiso, you want to talk to Loiso.
Yeah, talk to Loiso, like I'm Loiso.
That's so nice.
Here it is.
Okay.
I,
Should I say
no, it's awesome.
Whatever she says, whichever is comfortable.
Loiso, Stanosam, I feel pressured when you always keep asking me to have sex, and I'm not ready to have sex yet. So it would be nice if you can wait for me. If you love me enough, I feel like you have to wait for me until I'm ready.
Perfect, that's perfect for you. Can someone else try?
Thank you.
Hi Loiso. I understand that you want us to have sex, but I think it's important for you to understand that I am not ready to have sex with you. because I'm still too young and I'm not ready, and I wanna be sure that you love me first. So I would love for you to wait for me until I'm ready. I don't know when I'll be ready, but I'll know when I'm ready when I'm ready.
That's perfect. Nice. So it might not turn out like that. So can I try another variation? So, Loiso. Hi. I really love you.
That's my line.
I really love you. But when you keep asking me for sex, I feel like you don't love me.
What do you want?
There's lots of other things I'd like to do with you.
Like what?
Like, you know, I'd like to kiss your neck, go on dates. Those are some things that I would like to do with you. So that's something that I think is important for you to know about how I feel. So look, the iMessage doesn't have to be perfect. And it doesn't even have to be, it doesn't even have to be like no risk. It doesn't have to be like no sex. Maybe they want to try messages that are about some things that they're willing to do, but not others. Whatever works for them, right? Okay.
Slice of nice, remember this. Oh, did we say this like we did slice of nice?
Yeah, we practiced a little bit of slice of nice.
Slice of nice.
So I think now we want to know what might some teenagers not want to use protection.
What's that?
Maybe the reasons why they don't want to use.
They don't want to use condoms. Why do teens not want to use condoms?
Not having one?
Yeah. Good answer. Not having one.
Some of about the myth about condoms, there are a lot of myth.
Oh yeah, like government condoms have little holes in them.
Blah, blah, blah.
Not knowing how to use them, like embarrassment. Or not even affording one, because some people don't want to use government condoms.
What else?
Use government condoms.
It's all about affording.
Affordability.
Yeah, so they could put anything out there because what matters is how they feel. And so you don't want to, you want to acknowledge that, and then what? You move on after that. You move on, and then what do you? Because you don't want them to linger on that. You don't want them to have this huge
Right
list
on
of
it?
bad things. So then he kind of moves them on to something else.
Yeah. So there are many consequences to not use condom.
Okay.
Yeah. So and birth control during sexual intercourse. So we know that the consequences, either you can be pregnant, you can HIV,
Gonorrhea,
STIs,
chlamydia.
yeah, all of that. And those things can make problems in your life. You can be out of school. You can abstinence is the what is this?
Okay, so although not having sex is the only sure way, but that might not work for everyone. So the next best thing is using condoms. Using male condoms and using female condoms. So guys, do you know where to go to get condoms? Does anyone know where to go?
Yes.
We can get them here as well. Here the
Yes! Where else can you get them?
Clement.
Yes! Clinic. Where else, guys?
We even have them here.
Toilet.
In the toilets.
Public
Yes!
The shop.
Where
Even
else?
here is a venue.
Oh, the
I
shop.
think we'll have condoms inside the venue.
Toilets are ready, Dr. A. Wonderful, wonderful,
We have
wonderful.
ones here also. Aren't we gonna have condoms inside?
Celebrate that, right? Celebrate that. Well done, guys.
The facilitation venue.
And then get them ready for the party.
She's saying that we don't have condoms in the facilitation venue.
So we give, yes, and we give them. Remember, we're giving them.
So like when they're here, the facilitation venue can we?
Just to put
No,
it there.
no, we do. Yeah, no, we're going to. you. That's great. Okay, and then
So we used to talk about condoms, but sometimes we don't know how to use it, and we take it like light. So we're gonna practice how to use condom. We're gonna first do the first step and do the last one. So I think we have 7 steps here how to use a condom.
with our lollipops.
Yeah. So where's the
Condoms.
yeah, no, this one.
Okay.
So
you can, like-
what is important before you use a condom? Let's say you get it from the toilet maybe. So before you use it, what is important to check?
The date, expiry.
Yeah, nobody wants the old
The
condom.
expiry date
Remember?
and then,
Check if I know.
okay, so which means you check if there's no holes. Yeah, okay. Another thing, you open it carefully. You not just open like you open a packet of chips. Or
Yeah.
use a knife or
Knife.
The kids do that.
or you-
We demonstrate. So guys, none of this, like, none of
yeah,
that.
That's what people
okay.
do.
I know, when you're like in the passionate moment, you're like, let me rip it open with my teeth, but you kinda don't wanna do that. You can make a whole joke of it with the kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the penis before you put it in the it must be firm, like a green banana.
So everyone, you know, it's good, so guys, it's actually really good to touch. This is what a firm penis feels like.
Yeah.
It's like good, you know, it's not like wood, it feels pretty firm. So this is kind of when a penis is ready to have a condom be put on it.
Yeah.
It feels real.
That's
real.
it's-
Yeah.
So like a green banana.
Like a not mushy banana. Like,
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
So when you show to the parents, you must
we'll
because
talk
the-
about that part.
yeah. So okay. So
We'll do teams only.
okay.
Yeah.
So the penis must be firm.
Oh, parents don't get this.
No, they're
They
gonna
get
do.
it
I'm gonna show you how to
separate.
do it, but there's a
Yeah.
different way to do
Yeah,
it with them.
Caroline's
Okay.
gonna show.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I think let's.
The pressing on the side.
So the best thing, you also push the condom aside before you make any damage.
Yeah.
You see there is a gaps here. The easy part, you can just look the gap there. And
Okay, and then in the winter, I love to say
Who said
this.
okay? You've never opened one before?
So-
I know I'm pretending like I'm a teenager.
I love winter, right? Because then I'm like, ooh, everyone take it out, feel the really nice lubricant. This is like the best lotion you can have. And I rub it on my hands. I'm
okay.
like, this is the best lotion that you can, I'll do it. I'll do it. It's really important to get in there. Like, you don't want to be like, oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Look, guys, smells nice. It's really nice lotion. Look how moisturized my hand is. So, like, don't be afraid of the
You don't
lubricant.
wanna
It's
spend-
all,
spread it
don't be
all
afraid of
over
the lubricant. It's like all part of the
It's
fun
gonna
of
end up
having a condom.
Okay.
Great.
It's not gonna cause me infections, that.
No, it's like the most nicest lotion you can have.
But you cannot spread it all over because it's gonna
I
leave the
know.
condom
So you
dry.
don't want to use it as lotion. No, good point. Good point. Okay.
I don't finish it.
So make sure that you're gonna roll it nicely, because sometimes it can be. Others I know, don't put like that, and then you can use your fingers to close the air.
So then I practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close that,
Perfect.
and then you put it on your penis.
So if they have it wrong, if they have the wrong direction, be like, oh man, that happens to me too. But don't worry, you just flip it around and try it the other way.
So then you have sex, and then when you finish, your boyfriend must move away when you finish, not take it off the condom on top of you. They must move aside and take it out of the condom.
So how do you do it?
So there's lots of ways to do it.
Yeah.
Mulaki's one way, but what I like, guys, what I like is this. So I like to grab the condom right at the tip, and I like to slide it off like this, because then you're keeping all the semen in that area. And then I kind of roll it off a little bit like this, and then I tie it off. So I'm like, you know, it's cool if it leaks, it is cool, but if you just want to tie it off like this, then it's kind of nice and neat, and then you can toss it in the bin. So the other thing you want to check before the teens leave is you just want to like make sure that the condom is like all the way down to the base of the penis. And sometimes teens get confused. You wouldn't believe how much misinterpretation happens. Teens are like, my boyfriend wore the condom, and then they're gonna like take it out, kind of still inside me or like close to me. Like the penis has to come out of your body, and your boyfriend must move aside before they take it off. So what I want to say to facilitators is that you need to be detailed and you need to show them they need to practice, because a teen could misinterpret your directions to be like, take it off inside me or take it off. Like you need to be really clear about how you explain those components of it. Cool?
Yeah.
Good job. And then we do it more than once. And we do the game, right? Isn't there like a race? So guys, if there's time, I think we should do a race. So everyone, we're gonna have a fun little race, the condom race. Okay, so guys, we need to, you know, it's hard to do the first time. So, first prize, okay, I'm gonna count to 5. Everyone get their packet out. I'm going to give a prize to the person who can get it on correctly. And we'll see how fast that can be done. And then we'll also give a prize to the person who can get it off and tie it off. So first race is getting it on correctly. You can go when I get to 0. 3, 2, 1, go!
So which means they must follow the steps.
Yeah, so some of this is like, so you do the first time really slowly, but then you do this, yay! You can, so then you do, okay, so the next race is, can you get it off correctly without spilling the semen and tie it off? 3, 2, 1, go!
Jesus. Good.
Yay! Oh, sorry. Okay. So guys, let's talk about the reasons for why we're doing that. Well, number 1, you do the first time slowly. You check. That's all about knowledge, skills. You do this race to get them over the hump. Like to get them over their fear.
And
the
they're
more they
doing
get
this,
used to,
all of them are doing it.
yeah,
all the kids.
they're all doing it. It's like all fun. It's like a race. Like it's like tear the condoms open, handle the penis. Like get used to it. So you want to do it more than once. And then you say to them, hey guys, I'm just going to send you home with some condoms. And I know that you don't have these fun lollipops at home, but you have bananas and cucumbers. You can try it on yourself. Like, that's cool too. It's good to practice on yourself. Like, you don't want to just trust a girl to do it on you. If you're a guy, you should know how to do it on your own. So, like, go home and practice. You guys can do it. We believe in you.
And then one kid decides to take the peanuts and puts it in. Like, I'm not going to use it.
Okay.
Big.
So now Mululaki's going to demo. Well, he'll transition. He'll be like, well done, guys. Now let's try the female condom.
Can I get a vagina?
Yeah. Here you go.
Bucky's saying he's holding them like this.
No, you gotta like embrace it. So guys, the other thing too, I just want to say, the kids will notice if you're like, that feels gross,
Yeah.
you gotta get over it. You gotta be like in there, handling it, lotioning yourself, like you gotta be in it. Or else they'll notice. Or else they'll notice. So what I want you guys to do, team, you guys are amazing. You gotta practice. You gotta get, and it's okay to giggle. The teens will appreciate that, but don't be embarrassed, because then they're gonna notice that. But it's okay to make it fun. You know, come on, this is kind of funny. You don't want to make it all glum, but make it fun, right? Okay, so everyone get out your vaginas. So everyone just like, it's really awesome actually to, I feel like we just see a lot of penises around, but you actually, the vaginas are awesome.
This is my first time also to see a model vagina.
So do you guys see these, there's vagina lips, and you should just like know, okay, it doesn't have these bumps, but there are vagina lips.
And
the
these are kids who are 14, some of them have
Yeah.
never seen it.
So the reason it's important to say that inside, everyone just put your fingers inside. It's just important to just know that this might be what, you know, it feels like. And what's also important about this is that it's clear. So we want you guys to learn how to put on female condoms and see what you're doing, because that's important for you to know, right? Okay.
So even this one, you do the same thing as the male condom. You check the expiry date, and you check if there is no hole. It's 2019, this one. So it's easy, this one. There's a space where you can just tear
Where? Oh,
out there.
This doesn't happen with families today. So it doesn't happen with parents.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, we should also show them the parents, but they are
But on a
separate.
separate
yes.
Okay. So what you are doing, you're doing like this. You make an 8. You make 8 so that it can easy to go inside. So before you put it inside, it's up to you. You choose the comfortable place. You can just put your leg on the chair like this, and
Yeah, so
Yes, you can
this is
rise
where the
out.
female demonstrator can actually do it.
yeah.
So I really think it's important. If you're with your partner, or if you're a woman, it is actually easier to like put your leg up, and don't be afraid to demonstrate that. Like you gotta like show them, right? These
Yeah.
are kids. What we're doing is we're saving their lives.
Mm.
So God, like get over your fear, you know. So you can say like this is the best way. So Lucky's even not afraid to do it. Like that's what makes him a great facilitator. So he's demonstrating. That's awesome.
So else you would just lie.
Yeah, you can lie down.
Yeah. It's up to you, the comfortable place. Then you make it 8 like this so that it can easy to go inside.
Insert the vagina
Yeah.
into the vagina. Exactly.
That's right.
That's right.
And push it.
Doing great. This is what a real vagina would feel like. That's great. Keep going. Push it in.
Push it in.
Yeah.
I must question to this female because what they say, isn't it painful?
No, I mean, so I try everything that I demo with the kids. Like I want to know. So like I try it. It's not painful. Like for real, it's not
it
painful.
shouldn't be painful.
It's like
Yeah,
smaller than a tampon. It's smaller than a tampon. Like if you wear a tampon, like this won't be painful. And then Muleki, exactly. So
Yeah, she has. Once you're nice, they you see they have this is all the way to the bottom. That's what it is. No, so what happens is in the body it turns.
it turns. So you'll like your fingers will get to a certain point in your vagina, and it'll like feel like it's stopped. Yeah. So so you say to them like. You insert as deep as you can go with your fingers until it feels comfortable, and like at some point your fingers will meet the wall of your vagina, and that's kind of what's telling you to stop there. And then
Okay. So we have your partner here.
And the overlap, okay,
Yeah.
we've all done it.
all part of the demo.
So the best way to not mess up the process, it's better to control by yourself. You can just direct your partner, because sometimes if you don't direct, you can put the penis like this, and then they push the condom aside, and then like so. It's better if
Yeah.
you control by yourself, and you talk to your partner about that. Because you want
Yeah.
to say something? Okay.
No, I think that's perfect. I mean, I think that's a great way to explain it. I think it's a great use of the models.
Yeah.
I think the other piece too that I always like to add is that, guys, part of it's when you're ready, this can be fun.
Yeah.
Like when you're ready, this
I
can
wanna
be
be
fun.
here when it's happening.
It's awesome. Do we have questions about it?
Yeah.
See, but this mustn't happen. It mustn't go yet.
It's not fine.
Are we
So
okay?
that's why it's important.
Yeah.
So guys, if they, I don't want them to, they can play, it's totally cool, but you can also say, like, remember guys, with real penises and real vaginas, it'll be even more slippery and it'll be easier to do. These are models for a reason, they're not exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
And
How long does this session
with the
take?
teenagers, it's like
Oh, that is perfect.
those instructions
It's
were
always
perfect.
coming.
Say that, but she will sometimes say you must look at where it's going.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they'll feel, but they won't look. And I find that fascinating. They
Yeah.
just look
Yeah.
to see that it's happening right.
Yeah.
In the right place.
It's in the right
Totally.
place.
So like, you gotta put that all out there, cause like you, already they're nervous. So just put that all out there. So Millie, how long does it take? It depends on the group.
Mm-hmm.
But we have enough models so that everyone has it.
Right.
And there needs to be multiple condoms. There needs to be multiple male and female condoms.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking like allocation of time, of course, needs to have a little bit more
Yeah.
compared to the rest, so that they have enough experience.
Yeah, I mean, Maleki, I don't think it felt rushed. I felt like we did have enough time with them, and that it proceeded at a good pace.
How do you encourage these girls to use these girls' condoms?
So a
Why?
couple of
You said
how,
why?
how do we
How?
encourage them?
How?
Well, it's what
Okay.
the
So
girls
some of the
don't
things
use
that
them.
women say to us is that.
We don't know. I've been seeing them before even.
So a couple of things that girls have said to us just over the years, and women said to us. Some women and girls have said to us, we really like it because then the guy doesn't wear a condom. And actually the something to explain is that the warmth of the body makes this adhere to the walls of the vagina, so it feels like very natural for the guy without using a condom. So like some girls and guys are like, we really like the female condoms. It really just feels like you're wearing nothing for the guy. The other thing that partners, boys and girls say is that they kind of like it. It's kind of fun. Like you're like, it's a little bit of foreplay.
It is.
Like it's like a little bit of foreplay. Like you're like, I'm like, putting my fingers inside you. It feels good. It's all part of the fun of like the experience. And then the other thing that women say is that girls say is that they feel empowered because then they're in control of putting the condom in their body instead of being like, hey guys, can you wear a condom? Can you wear a condom? So those are some things that people have said to us, but you have to figure out what works for the team. So like that's what really matters, right? Cool. So what next?
I think it's gender roles. Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes it cannot be hard to use a condom or want to, but what is difficult is to ask your partner to use a condom. Is the most difficult part, and the gender roles is another thing. We find out it's always expected to be females to take care about the condom stuff, and then males they don't bother themselves about the condom.
So like the women are the ones saying, can you put it on?
Yeah, yeah. And on the other side, even our communities, we treat it differently. So boys are treated different than girls. For example, if a boy dating a lot of partners, they clapping hands. Yeah. This is a playboy. This is nice. But when the girl is doing that,
So
what
guys,
might happen?
so sorry to interrupt. So I feel like the gender piece, the gender demo is actually really important. And I also respect your time. So we're at 4 o'clock. What I want to do when we meet tomorrow is I want to finish demonstrating this.
Friday.
Friday, I'm sorry, Women's Day. So when we meet on on Friday, I will finish the demo from gender onwards. I will show you the parent session as well, and then we'll talk about the science and the training, the background information you need to know. So that'll be our last day together, because with Muleki and Balawa, you're going to have them for 3 more days. So to prepare our team and to just make sure that we're all on the same board, same page, we talked about Friday. So the 3 days that we're gonna have with Balawa and Muleki next week and the week after, this is the plan, and we want your feedback if this is gonna work for you. First thing is that you're gonna spend the in-between time preparing these. So you should be ready on the Thursday that we meet, 16th, to demonstrate session 1 to us. Then the next time you meet, so you'll do the demo to us. Balawa and Muleki will give you feedback to be like, that was perfect, that was not quite right, try it like this. And if they need to show you how to do the sessions, modules, ones that are really hard, they'll demo it back to you.
Okay.
Then the next day, you must be prepared to demo session 2 to us. And then again, they're there giving you feedback and demonstrating the sessions that are really hard or modules that are really hard. The third day that you have with them, you'll have to demo session 3.
23rd.
So we're, Lauren and Nana and Millicent will share those dates, but basically between now and then, you should be practicing your components so that you know how to deliver. Questions? Do you feel like that's gonna be helpful to get you guys ready and feel like you're ready for it? Well, like, do you have anything to add, Master Trainer? Because I feel like you did an amazing job. Anything to add to that plan?
We need to have music
No, I
in the
think
team
you cover
session.
everything.
Like a little
It's
music.
gonna, I think it's gonna work.
Perfect. Can we give Lucky a round of applause? I feel like he worked so hard today
Yeah.
showing us. Amazing, amazing.